Uh, I was saying that what people fail to realize, and I think it kind of sit in the back of their mind, but we're a dangerous species mainly because uh of our we don't have that thing that what I'm saying that we identify with. We kind of have to make up shit. We got
Mm,
to kind of like we got to create these goals and these objectives that are superfluous to the greater our greater purpose.
hmm.
You see what I'm saying? We don't know what our greater purpose is. So motherfuckers out here really just scraping and really trying to they faking their way through life until the end of it, not knowing
Yeah,
what the real objective is.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I said I had posted something. I said people choose loyalty and love over righteousness and respect and end up looking stupid and dumb. Not because those things are independent of each other, but they never knew that those things are supposed to always be together anyway. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is having loyalty and love for a motherfucker if you don't respect them and you don't see and you're not righteous to them?
correct.
You
And
see what I'm
not
saying?
just not
Or
just
what's a
righteous to
person that's
them, but the
righteous?
righteousness to yourself and the respect
Yeah,
for yourself.
exactly. So like you got a lot of people who love somebody and they loyal to them, but they don't. There's no righteousness there. You know what I'm saying? There's no respect there because respect won't allow you to violate nobody. But human beings violate each other every single man. Our entire economy, entire societal structure is based on disrespect.
Correct. That's a
You
big
see what
one.
I'm saying? But we use identity politics and shit like that to kind of to politicize the concept of respect. But nobody in this life respects nobody.
Mm-mm. And
It's
the
our
other part
species,
about that
bro.
is if it's business, like if you're doing business, like we get that. Like you have to strive for success and you have to be cutthroat to a certain degree, right? But on another level, are you able to turn that off and deal with people on a regular day-to-day basis as family and friends and regular pedestrians? Like, do you know how to
I'm gonna
do
say
that?
this. Respect, bro, is one of them things as a man we kind of thrive on it, right? But if you think about it, like the way men respect each other amongst men, you know what's attached to the other side of that? If disrespect occurs, the potential for violence. You
Not
see
just
what I'm
violence, but
saying?
someone can die.
You see what I'm saying? Think about that. Like the only reason why we're respectful amongst each other.
It's because we don't want to get into a violent situation.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making. It's like we as a society, we want that's why we treat each other like shit, bro. Because the motherfucker, you know how like a dog will walk next to a fence and bark at another dog on the other side of that fence.
But if you
You
open
know what
that
I'm
gate,
saying?
we'll see what they're really talking about.
That's what we do.
Hmm.
That's our species.
Hmm.
That's why that's why the corporate system functions the way it functions. We need like it's almost like we all got like a kennel like around us individually. Our kennels is our bills, our families, our livelihoods, those things that keep us safe. Because we if we break outside of that, we lose all of the shit we love. We lose all the shit we loyal to. But that's what without the respect. You know what I'm saying? That's without the righteousness. If you remove the respect and righteousness, everybody you love and everything you loyal to, that shit is on the line at all times.
It'll go out the window.
That's why we kind of like, when I was saying about the piece about the righteousness and the respect, it's more like just seeing the human being across from you.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Seeing that
But
humanity.
six, you got
Uh,
to realize that there are certain people out there who don't see themselves as human beings. You know,
exactly.
some people have been in, not only have they been in survival mode, but some people have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Some people have been hiding from themselves the entire time. So, not to say that but let's say that you were a hurtful person. You've been
Yeah.
hurting people your entire life because you've been hurt, and you don't want people to recognize that you've been hurt, so you hurt people constantly. But what you fail to
Because you think
realize
that
is that
you
correct,
feel like that's creating balance.
correct. You think that's the way it's supposed to go, and that's the way you're supposed to do things because you're used to hurting people. But what you fail to
Right.
realize is that other people see that you hurt, and you trying to hide it and you trying to cover it up, but everybody sees it and everybody knows that you're hurt because they can see it. And the people that act like they don't see it are the same ones who are hurt. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
all the hurt that you put out there, you put all this hurt and this pain out there just because you hurt and you think that's the way that the world operates and that's the way that things should go.
Facts.
And at some point, there's going to be that one person, those two people, those three people, those four persons that realize and they go, "Oh, you hurt, and you didn't want nobody to see it, but I see it now. So
But you know,
I'm gonna point it out to you every time."
but see, I'm gonna tell you this though. I'm gonna put it on a macro level for you.
All right, all right.
All right. Consider this. Like how like people like to reminisce on how things used to be in the past for our elders and what where we come from, like all this fantastical concept that we have in our mind to kind of like make us to give us that carrot at the end of the stick, something to strive for individually. So motherfucker be like white people with the MAGA shit. You know what I'm saying? Most of that MAGA shit is really based on something that is based on folklore. You know what I'm saying? Because again, people hurt people, man. They look at it from viewing it from the lens of the ideal, but not the reality. And that, or I'll say how niggas like they still like grieve the Robert Taylor homes. You know what I'm saying? Because all
Some
that's all
sort of
they know.
nostalgia that
Yeah, nostalgia has a
that didn't really work out.
nostalgia is the carrot at the end of the stick.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people. And sometimes their nostalgia ain't as robust as somebody else's. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like I got childhood memories, like we talked about it. I got childhood memories that's so unique to me and so distinct. I got a cousin I grew up side by side with. He only got like 2/3 of them same memories under the same conditions.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? We talk about the shit that we have in common in that way. But if you don't have nothing in common with a motherfucker across from you other than the same sports team, my nigga, the same rapper, the same singer,
It's gonna be
you know what
hard
I'm
for you
saying?
all to have a conversation.
Some, yeah, you got to be something tangible. That's why people be faking it till they make it, bro. It's like motherfuckers they join fraternities and they do all of these different things so they can have them those things to talk about to be in the circles of people that they want to be in. Ain't no leaders in this motherfucker. It's manipulators. You can't even be a motherfucker. You can't be a leader and not be a manipulator. It's almost it's part of the fucking DNA of being a leader.
Yeah, it is though,
You know
and
what I'm saying?
I hear
It's
that
about
part.
how you use it.
I hear that part, but at the same time, a real leader will lift you up and push you forward, and they'll get you out of the situation you're in and
That's
help you out.
manipulation, bro. That's
That's
manipulation.
that is a form of manipulation, but the other form of manipulation we're talking about is just galvanizing people to follow under them, and they do nothing with it. They just follow
Now, what
people
I'm
and
talking about
they
is
just lead people into nowhere.
I'm talking about just the overall, like, 'cause most people don't have leadership skills at all. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? They have like what they think is a leadership skill, but most people don't have leadership skills. But if you think about every person in a leadership role that like really rose the ranks and galvanized people, or they that OG in the hood, think about it. It's like they all kind of share something in common. It could be the dude who climbed the corporate ladder to the most respected nigga in the hood.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like that's what that's it's that like the ability to understand your power for manipulation and what you do with it. It's not even the
But
type of
again,
manipulation, it's about what you're willing to do with it.
but that's a type of manipulation though, right? We're talking
All
about
of it is.
somebody
If
who's
you're the
saying,
leader, yeah,
yeah, someone who's saying, look, I'm gonna do this to help you guys get to this point or this goal. And then you got people who just want you to follow under them because they just want control of what's going on.
because it lifts them up.
Yeah, because it makes them look good.
Yeah,
I would rather be the person that says, whether you call me a leader or someone that manipulated you, at least I got you to somewhere. There was a goal that I got you to. I don't want to be the person that just got you under my wing just so it made me look good and it made me feel good about myself. That's
facts.
to me, that would end up being a weak person who never had a goal for you in the beginning anyway. You were just following that person to a dead end. And no disrespect to nobody, it's kind of like certain preachers who do that to the sheep or the flock, right? They call them what they call them shepherds, right? A sheep
Yeah,
herder. So you're leading the sheep, but where are you leading the sheep to? Me, I would
yeah,
rather be the person that say you're not a sheep, you're actually a person who needs to read this book read this book, and then from there, these are the things that you need to do to make yourself valuable to yourself and then to your family and the people around you. And I
You
think
know what
there's a
that
big
is, bro?
difference. I think
And
there's a
that's
big
that's
difference
speaking
in
those
the
for
leadership and manipulation.
and see what you're describing speaks to the righteousness portion of what I was talking about. You know what I'm
Bhagavan.
saying? So like again, people who lean so heavily into the love and into the loyalty component, the love component got more to do with them feeling something. They want to feel appreciated or they want to feel seen by somebody. And the
Mm-hmm.
respect adverse to that, the respect component would be the part where it's like, whether or not we share the same love for each other, yours could be absolutely nothing. Mine could be I could love you to death. But I'm never gonna let nothing fuck. I ain't gonna let nobody fuck with you. I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? If it's
Mm-hmm.
within my power, you know what I'm saying. So that means like I see the human in you. I see you. You know, so I see you as my brother. I see you as somebody that might come back and save my life someday. That type of
Correct.
shit. But
Correct.
the thing is when you take the love and the loyalty components, the loyalty component is people trying to hold on to the memory of a person's good time, the person that they benefit from. You know what I'm saying? Most people are loyal to who they can benefit from. So if you once you add like the righteousness and all that stuff to it, that 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 loyalty becomes it's like unspoken. You see what I'm saying? It ain't even like it ain't a spoken expectation. When you love somebody, you loyal to them, you got respect for them, and you righteous to them, and you righteous to yourself. When all those things come, when you put that shit together, man, we probably that's I think that's the real definition of being woke.
I would agree.
Because now you're not worried about nothing. You just
Mm-mm.
you what you're doing is you observe you know what the dangers are. You
Mm-hmm.
know what it takes to get people on board when you need to get people on board.
You
You
know
see what I'm
why you
saying?
here. You know the purpose. You know
Yeah.
what you're doing, and you know why you're on that road. So from that point
Yes.
on, there is no worry about
How
why am
people
I
acting.
following? Yeah, why am I following? Why am I doing this? You understand where we're headed. You understand what the mission
Yeah.
is. And with a person who's not righteous and not respectful, they're just leading you blindly down a road where it ends
Yeah.
up to nowhere. And when that
Because they don't
person
want to be alone.
dies, right, because they don't have nothing to really offer and they don't want to be alone. But at the end of that road, where did it lead you? When that person dies, what did they give you to help you after? For me, I would rather be the person that says, listen, here's what you should be working on. Here's the things that you should be doing. And long after I'm gone, there are lessons for you to teach and lead people after I'm gone to make sure that the next level of people, the next group of people, the next era, the next generation of people that come behind you will be okay. It's a big difference.
It's this young dude. He worked for a temp service. Shout out Nave. He um he was working for the temp service, and I used to see him sitting in the break room and shit. And I just walked up to him. You know what I'm saying? Struck up a conversation with him. You know what I'm saying? Asked him what his name was. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? He about my son age and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He real like excited about doing something. He excited about achieving shit. You know what I'm saying? He got that fire in him. But I can tell that he kind of discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
So he talking and stuff like that, and I gave him some ideas, and I was like, my job hiring, you make a good, you know what I'm saying, you make some good money, you be able to take care of your business and your bills. You take, you know what I'm saying, at your age, it's probably more money than you probably make on another job in your life. I said, just it's a test. If you need some help with the test, here's my number. I'm just not meeting him. You see what I'm saying? And he took the test one time, he failed, came back and told me. And I told him, I said, well, just keep in mind about the parts you was really doubting when you was answering them questions. And when you see them questions again, you know what I'm saying, you'll be a little bit more informed. And I told him, I said, don't forget to hit my line, man. I could give you some more tips or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, you gonna hit, you know what I'm saying, hit the ground running. I don't know this dude from nowhere, but I'm speaking life into him in terms of helping him make a better decision to kind of break the discouragement. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many people walk up to somebody and do that?
I
You see
don't
what I'm
know.
saying?
I don't know. It's far and few in between.
How many people like really like? like black people in general, we already like dealing in environments where it's like you look at a nigga the wrong way, you can end up dead.
I think that's
And
part of that is
that's
because we're
not even
still in
all
that
of us, but
survival mode.
yeah. So it's like once you kind of like bridge that gap for the respect and the righteousness for people who live in off love and loyalty, you'll get a whole human being out of it. Everybody
Hmm.
living their life in pieces. You know what I'm saying? Because losses will bring you down. You'll start feeling the weight of being righteous. And you know what I'm saying? And sometimes people shed that weight because they can't they that's when they go off into doing shit to kind of break the grief of whatever they're dealing with.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like a righteous man, you know what I'm saying, hang his righteousness on the coat rack when it's time to go get some pussy. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Well, when it's time
You
to get
you would
drunk,
move.
well, time to go get drunk.
Yeah, you would
You know what I'm
remove
saying?
all that when it's something that um comes to your human nature that you really want to chase
Yeah,
after. If a person makes you
yeah,
mad, or if it's a woman that you really want to chase down, like you'll forget about that. But when what you're doing is effective and you see the intention of what you're doing bearing fruit, it won't bother you as much, and you kind of just act like you didn't see it.
yeah.
you
Exactly.
know
That's
but
to the point.
here's the other thing, man, that when we talk about respect and righteousness or love and loyalty, a lot of people don't even know what love is. you know
Exactly.
a lot of people don't even know what loyalty is. Like, there's a certain level of loyalty that I have to people, and then as a grown man now with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, there's a level of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that will allow me to remove myself from anybody, whether they are family or friends, and say, because this situation doesn't make sense, I will not be loyal to a person, or I will not have no love. I have love for you, but I will not be loyal to whatever was
Yeah,
going on, because it may possibly not just hurt you, but it'll harm me in the process.
yeah,
And because of a person that I am that has respect, my respect says that this is wrong. And because it doesn't make sense to my respect and my logic and the way that I do things, that I have to, not, another thing I have to do is I have to tell you that this is fucked up. And I have to
yeah.
inform you that what you're doing is out of pocket and out of line. And because of that, I will remove myself from the situation. And
Right,
before I do remove myself, I need to talk to you and let you understand why I'm doing this, and let you understand the points that I'm bringing up, to make sure you understand why I'm doing it.
right. Absolutely.
But a lot of people don't have that though, Six, because a lot of people are out here. They're moving in survival mode.
Dude, that's 98% of the population, bro.
And if they're not moving
That's
in survival mode, they don't have real men or real women around them to guide them correctly, so they have a complete understanding of the things that we're talking about.
think about uh, think of a pro athlete. Think of like a celebrity actor. They going through it too,
Hmm.
because failure is not an option. They got this far. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Or they will sell out a component of that respect. You see what I'm saying? So they could get a little bit further up or to lock themselves in to secure their position as much as they can.
Hmm.
People become less respectable and they are more disrespectful when they reach a certain level.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That's like it's almost it's an imbalance. You see what I'm saying? So like they gonna lack it on each side, but it's gonna be so many different reasons why. You
And
know,
and I think we
motherfuckers sell
also
themselves out
we also
all the
had.
time, just
Go ahead.
like they'll sell they righteousness. I mean, that should be up for sale once they reach a certain level. Righteousness and respect. That's why a lot of celebrities don't speak out about things. You see what I'm saying? The ones who
Now
really are
they
like
turn their back to it. They act like they don't see what's going on.
those are the ones that sold they righteousness. You see what I'm saying? They don't wanna they rather be anonymous donors and shit like that. Not to say that they need to yell at the mountaintops and say everything that they did, but they become anonymous donors because it make them feel like they still righteous.
Hmm.
as opposed to actually addressing the matter. Like the motherfuckers, like everybody who quiet right now while Diddy going through what he going through, them niggas, all everybody sold their righteousness and their respect already.
Yeah. And the majority of the motherfuckers was at his parties.
Exactly.
They hung out
That's
with
what
him.
a
They knew what type of nigga he
shit. His
was.
house, his parties was the righteousness and respect motherfucking flea market, bro.
Hmm.
Motherfuckers selling their shit dirt cheap in there.
Yep. Just
That's
to
why
get
they
in.
quiet now.
Just to get into
Yeah,
the
just to
party.
beat, just so they could say they was there.
Yep. Just so they can have that look. Were you at that party the other night? Yeah, I was there. I was there. I talked to such and such. I talked to this
Cause
person. Oh yeah, I did see
and
you. Yeah, 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 yeah.
and
I
then
was
that'll
there.
put them in a room with people that they probably wouldn't have never had the opportunity to be in the same room with. So if they need to rub elbows and shit, I got to be at the Diddy party because I know such and such. So, so we can get this deal cracked. I can go in there and I can present this to this motherfucker because I know they always gonna be at the Diddy party. His party was the hub, and
And now
motherfuckers
you're
go in there and
seeing
become
they become
motherfuckers
butt
become
pirates and all type of
a
shit.
lesser version of themselves.
Yeah. And now you're hearing all these stories come out where people are saying, this happened at the party, or this person smacked me, or this person drugged me off into this room, and I was disrespected over here, or I was hanging out with this group of people, and when I looked up, all my clothes were off and everything like that. But um, to a certain degree, man, y'all were informed about these parties, and y'all knew what was going on, but you
I
chose
mean,
to be there.
they wanted to be there.
You chose to be there. So it went from a level of righteousness and respect to you thinking about more so of your career. Man, we've had this conversation a bunch of times, man.
All right.
There I don't think there's a an amount of money that can make me do anything, dude. I just don't like I tell you this, if a motherfucker told me to slap you for $1 billion, six, you getting slapped. But that's cheap. You understand what I'm saying? A slap don't mean nothing to you. If I turn around and I give you $100 million, that don't mean nothing. But we all know it ain't gonna cost that. It costs more than that. It costs your soul. It costs your integrity. It costs your righteousness for something like that. Your self respect.
But
They
see,
want
those are
something major.
yeah. To them, that's a small price to pay
Mm-mm.
for
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? For the financial or whatever. It might not even be, it might, some people are more famous than rich,
Mm-hmm.
as Pusha T said. You know what I'm saying? And some people just want that fame, just the same way people be going out crazy, going out nuts just for Instagram likes.
I don't care about being famous. I don't want to be
You see what I'm
famous.
saying? Like, I'd rather be more rich than famous. I'd rather have the money and just, and still live my life.
Yep.
And guess what? And even for that, I'm not finna sell myself out.
Mm-mm.
You
My
see what I'm
integrity will
saying?
always be intact. No
Because
matter
I
the
think we all
no matter the
like
record
we all
deal that I've
know.
been I've been passed or anything that they put in front of me, it's not enough to look in the mirror, to wake up in the mirror and look at myself and say, um, you fucked up, but you okay. But then when I look around, my guys ain't okay, my family ain't okay, and shit like that. Like it has to make sense, you know?
A lot of people don't have nothing to barter with when it comes to like reaching their success. You know what I'm saying? Like tangible skill sets and resources that they could actually provide. So that's when they end up started like, you know what I'm saying, soft shoeing and shit like that and becoming the lowest version of themselves to get that goal off the ground. You know what I'm saying? And I man, I was about to say something real controversial.
Go ahead. We recording, man. Like let it fly.
No, I was gonna say that's why a lot of these young girl actors and singers and stuff like that get taken advantage of because a lot of them are only bringing their body and their talent. They bring
But
their
that's all
looks
they
and their
have.
talent.
That's all they
That
have.
talent can be subbed in. You know what I'm saying? And then they it's like they literally going into like a pool of sharks.
Let
You
me
know what I'm
say this
saying?
from a
Motherfuckers who
man's
already
point of view. From a man's point of view, for anybody that's listening to all the women who are listening, let me say this to you when you decide to listen, when you hear this. If you don't have anything to offer outside of your sexuality and your appearance, you are nothing more than an object of another man's affection. No man will care about you if you don't have anything else to offer. If you aren't a doctor or a lawyer, if you don't have any great skill about you that will improve the way that things work in that man's world or the way the world works, period. If you don't have any real skill set and everything becomes based off your looks and you putting on makeup, you're nothing more than a sex toy to a man. And many of you will be taken advantage of because that's all you have to offer. You have nothing else to offer a man outside of that.
Or even on the other side of that, bro, like because they free to look and feel however they want to look and feel. That's the individuality of the human being, right? But even outside of the scope of like they'll look like a sex object to men. There are men who won't even view him as a sex object. They'll just view him as somebody that doesn't understand they're making themselves bait for those motherfuckers. You see what I'm
That
saying?
part.
So there are men who will see her and be like, I can't date her because well, I want to say I can't hire her. I can't hire her because uh her, you know what I'm saying, disposition, it puts me in the idea that she's not aware of the danger she puts herself in. And it ain't even just women, man, because there's dudes out here walking around here like that too, on
Yeah.
full victim mode all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's like dudes out here who literally they are like professional Vicks because again they enter these situations with no type of tangible weaponry. Come in with your artillery, showing you know what I'm saying when you break open your portfolio of accomplishments and what you can do, that becomes legendary to people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And a lot
Equip
of them
yourself.
don't, yeah, and a lot of them don't
Taken advantage
understand
of.
the Harvey Weinsteins, like all these guys that y'all stepping in front of when you go and meet these guys at 7, 8, or 9 o'clock at night. They're taking advantage of you because you have nothing else to offer more than yourself.
Man,
And they know that because you come into these rooms, that you're coming into these rooms with them with nothing else to offer. They're looking at your talent and go, yeah, the talent is whatever it is. Like we can improve on that later on. But they're looking to abuse you because of it's just you, and they're willing to take advantage of you because you don't know any better. And that's not to say that's something to be proud about or happy about. I'm just speaking on it because that's what happens a lot of time to these young women who get into these rooms with these guys and they don't know what's going on. If ever you're offered the opportunity to go and speak in front of a powerful person,
it's these guys, these young boys too.
yeah, if you
These
ever
young
you're
boys
offered the
too.
opportunity to speak in front of a powerful person and they tell you to come past and they come tell you to come to their place at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, reject it. Reject it because there's nothing but bullshit and you have no reason to be there. Their office hours are 9 to 5. Anything after that is suspect.
Man, I look at it like it's about discernment, man. That comes down to that self-awareness too, man. It's like if you're not raising in a pack of people who have these types of mentalities about things and kind of view the world in that lens, you almost won't ever get that type of talking to coming up. And you don't just pick this up along the way, because that's dangerous as hell to just pick it up along the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Most motherfuckers ain't hand them a book, or they probably didn't know what book to go read. Well, most motherfuckers, only time they ever read was when they had the Scholastic book fair at school. You see what I'm saying? But when you get out here in the world, they deepest reading be like a message in their inbox
Yeah.
or
And
email.
it's a lot of people out here like that. And that's not to make fun of nobody or or look down on people because of that, but there are plenty of women, young men out here who are being taken advantage of because they don't know any better, and it's
Not
happening.
educated.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere. And you have young men and young women who may have been told about it, but they still because of the situation they're in, they'll still do anything that it takes to put some money in their pocket or become famous or become successful because of the situation they're in, right? So it goes
Dude,
back to that
you're right.
righteousness and integrity and respect. How much of yourself are you willing to sacrifice to get to where you want to be? And if you don't have nothing, the majority of people that we see with record deals and everything like that, they'll give it all up just to get to that goal,
Yep. Because it's almost like anything to change the way I feel today. You know what I'm saying? That's how people function, man. Like a motherfucker would be like, because your emotions are up and down all day long. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're going through these, like, depending on cause a motherfucker could piss you off in a heartbeat. A
Yeah.
motherfucker could make you laugh in the next minute. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So these emotions are always fluctuating. But some people are like in a constant lull and it just vibrates real low. That's a low vibrational shit. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Whereas a person who had like some shit that really make them happy and something is always like lifting their spirits, then they always up here. You know what I'm saying? But like there's a lot of people just in the middle and they kind of like they get they get the dopamine and the oxytocin. You see what I'm saying? They get those on a regular, so they're not high off of one or the other. You know what I'm saying? We kind of like that. I think, and that comes from like just, I guess, not just the knowledge of yourself, knowing who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Being in tune. A lot of people just not in tune. You know, again, that's them four components, man. It's like if you not,
Yeah.
and it ain't nobody's fault, bro. It's just you learn these different social skills based on where you are.
And
You
I
know what I'm
think
saying?
when it comes to that dopamine release, I think that also comes down to desire and discipline, right? Like, what are you really paying attention to?
Right.
What really gives you a high? What really gives you a fix? And if it's the internet or if it's some trash that you see on TV all day, outside of that trash or that internet or whatever it is that you may be a part of, what is it that you do on a regular to make yourself feel better about who you are or where you are? What are you doing? Are you working out? Do you have a hobby? Are you doing anything productive, anything creative to kind of help you out? You know, um, I could be at home watching a bunch of TV shows at any point in the day, when I'm at home, but I'm not. I'm on an internet. I'm on Instagram. Yes, sir. I be on Instagram. We already know this. I be on Instagram. I be scrolling like a motherfucker. But we all know why I'm scrolling. I'm not just looking for
Yeah.
the funny shit to post. We all know what I'm doing. Looking for guests. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Looking
So
for
it's a
content. Yeah.
absolutely. I'm looking for content creators to be on my podcast, content creators that I can network with and produce more results for what I have going on in the background. So it's a big difference. Like yeah, I be on the internet. Hell yeah, I be looking for shit that be funny. Hell yeah, I be looking for people that inspire me. Hell yeah, I be looking for people that say shit that make me laugh and everything like that. But I do know what else I'm out there doing when I'm on the internet too. So I just think it just depends on the person, man. Like, what are you doing with these tools? And a lot of times I
Yeah.
don't think we realize that these tools are set up for us to use them to our advantage. That's why it's called social media. That's why it's called Facebook. Like these things are just marketing tools to kind of help us out and help us get to where we're
Yeah.
trying to go.
It's supposed to help you network with people.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of networking, people are using it just to pass time. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the disconnect is. I remember back when MySpace was like really popping, and that's all we did on there was network.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like-minded people. That's how I met, you know what I'm saying, Marv One. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Ants 13. You know what I'm saying? Just reaching out, chopping it up with them, having these conversations. There's a lot of people, man.
That
Like
MySpace era, that was a crazy era right there.
I
Because
I bridged a lot of gaps for people, and I had a lot of gaps bridged for me through the MySpace era.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? I don't even. It's kind of incredible when you think about it, because where we are with it now, it's a handful of us that's probably still using social media in that way, because everybody else is like just looking at this. Like I always see people posting on Facebook. Oh, I say what I want to hear because it's just a playground. Like you missing opportunities.
yeah, there were some really good people that I met through MySpace, man. And some of them I haven't heard from in 5 or 6 years, man. I don't know what happened to them. Like they fucking disappeared or just fell off, or some people
Right.
just decided not to mess with Facebook no
Social
more
media.
like that.
Yeah, some
You
people
know?
just don't fuck with social media like that no more.
Yeah, yeah. Some
But
of them
see,
just.
they disconnect from it.
hmm I know some that were just upset at some of the stuff that I was posting, and they didn't want to connect with me no more. They just stopped following me and or deleted me or whatever it was. Some of them just got off the internet. But I met some really good people off of MySpace. MySpace was a good era. Whether you got to know people or you didn't, it was good for music. It was good for uh
Yeah.
learning how to network with people for like the youth programs and
Yeah,
everything, getting to understand,
business ideas.
yeah, business ideas, how reservations were working for like the Native Americans or Native Indians or whatever you want to call them. It was just a lot of different things, man, that helped educate me and give me better understanding about how life worked for different people. So I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
that was an error, man. It's like
Hmm.
I think because you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, it's like where we headed as a society is going. Is I can completely understand how simple it would be to put us on the world one world government now
Hmm.
because so many people are like going down that pipeline of just being given and fed information in such a way that they like as long as it don't affect me, as long as it ain't my problem. You see what I'm saying? Because shit don't last. It don't sit with you long enough no more.
And it's harder,
Every day,
it
everybody
seems like
becoming
it's harder.
desensitized.
Yeah, it seems like it's harder to galvanize people in this era of life with the internet and everything because so many people are drawn in by the internet and they're not using their own brains to disseminate the information that they're given, right? So you can fool a bunch of people all day, every day because they believe damn near everything that they're hearing or seeing. Um, I question almost everything, or I do question everything that I'm hearing, everything I'm seeing, because a lot of this shit doesn't make sense. Uh, the COVID vaccinations or the presidency, Kamala Harris, like all of this stuff is weird when I hear the information and when I'm hearing it's like, what? None of this shit makes sense to me, man. Like, where are you all getting this stuff from?
Yeah.
And to the people that are
It's
listening,
like,
be careful of the information that you're being given by by different sources. Some of these sources are put there to lie to you. Like there are people who are directly lying to you on
almost,
purpose.
it's almost as if there there's a low lying disdain for our common sense and respect. It's like
Correct.
somebody whoever's scripting this story said, you know what, we ain't gonna go so hard this season. This season we finna just throw shit at them and they gonna believe whatever the fuck we put in the script
Yeah.
because they you know what I'm saying they loyal viewers. That's how
Yeah.
they look at us, man. Like
I
we
feel
loyal
like
viewers.
they looking at us the same way they look at the way they feed us food, right? The Domino's
Yeah, they'll
pizza.
eat anything.
We just gonna throw toppings on this pizza and see if you motherfuckers like it. We just gonna throw shit on there and just see if y'all eat this
Exactly,
shit.
bro. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we got these
Look. Six, we
motherfuckers out
gonna
here
run a play.
willingly.
We gonna put sausage, pepperoni, and dog dick on a pizza, but we not gonna say it's dog dick. We gonna call it another type of meat.
We're gonna give it a special name.
Yeah, and we gonna put it out here and see if y'all like the shit. And if y'all don't
Yeah.
like it, we'll stop selling it. But if y'all do like it, we gonna throw more garbage on top of another pizza just to see because it's an experiment,
Everything.
and y'all don't know
Yeah,
no
it's
better.
all experiment, bro. But like they look at us like we willing. They even got a bunch of us willing to kill each other off willingly
Yeah,
to keep the numbers at a certain level.
yeah. And then you got
You know
niggas
what I'm saying?
like us.
It's all
You got
contrived, bro.
yeah, and you got niggas like us going, yo, don't eat that.
Right.
Yo, don't believe that bullshit. Like, don't listen to
Like
that.
why would you put that in your body?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. You got niggas like us going, yo, don't read that book, read this one. Yo, don't
man,
listen to that. Yo, listen to this right here. Here's an article on the internet about this right here, or here go an article
man,
10 years ago that spoke on this happening now. You know what I mean? Like here,
bro,
listen to this shit right here.
it's crazy though,
And then
because like,
they'll call us crazy for giving them the truth, but they'll listen to the
yeah,
bullshit, the fiction, and the lies. And you be sitting there
yeah,
looking at them like, man, what's wrong with y'all, man?
dude. I mean, you just summed it up. It's like they out here literally just they addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like extreme Munchausen. Is it Munchausen syndrome
Either that or
when
Stockholm syndrome.
when the parent is like telling the kid they sick when they ain't to make them feel, you know what I'm saying? Treat them like they got a disease so they could keep the kid under control.
or Stockholm
You know what I'm
syndrome.
saying? And they got us all stuck in this mindset that we can't get out of it. So why should I try?
Yeah,
I can't do better. So why should I try?
yeah.
You
But
know?
again, that's another reason, man. When I look at people and I talk to people, and they say shit like, "You think you better than me, or you think you better than us?" No, my nigga, like I just
I
read
see better.
some books, and I feel better about myself, and I'm proud about who I am. You know, if you really knew what you were capable of, and you knew where you actually come from, instead of the shit that they putting out here, you would feel proud about yourself too. You'd be confident in who you are as well. Like, stop listening
And
to that bullshit.
you'll start developing critical thinking skills and start asking legitimate questions that matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
you ain't got to be like I think our thought leaders don't have to be freedom fighters. I think that where you are in a fight for freedom per se should always be dictated and determined by the value you bring to the fight. You see what I'm saying? Like
hmm
who needs a motherfucking who? Nobody would have asked Gil Scott Heron to be on the front lines because he's a dope poet. You see what I'm saying? But the way they sell it to us now is they use celebrities to pitch all of these major political events now.
that should be a distraction, man. Any of these motherfuckers telling you to get up and go and vote, that shit is a distraction. You don't even know who the fuck you voting for. You don't know what they've
All of
done.
this shit is all of this shit is it's theater, man. It's
It
fucking
is.
theater.
It's just a lie.
Yeah. All this shit it's all scripted. It's scripted events and there's ways to keep the ants in the colony doing what they're supposed to be doing because winter is coming.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And the ones
Yep.
who fucking around, they're gonna be out there in the cold. That's the way they look at it.
Yep. And it's crazy how you
Like
could.
you literally gotta clock in and out on your job unless you find a better way.
Yep.
You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? And they going to and then they put rails and constraints on what that better way can and can't be. As long as they're the ones benefiting from it, they'll look the other way.
Yeah. It's wild out here, bro. It's wild. And then you got the other people who are out here telling you, don't be yourself. Dumb yourself down. Don't be who you really are, but dumb yourself down, because we can't tolerate you if you operate at 90 or 100% of being yourself. Like, we can't deal with that
If you got love, loyalty, respect,
for
and
yourself.
righteous, you know what I'm saying?
Dumb it down.
Then yeah, you need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dumb it down. We need to make
And
sure
when
that
we start
people
seeing,
hate you for you being who you are and loving yourself and loving the people that look like you. Like, we need to
yeah,
dumb it down. We need to take you and put you in a cage or something because you were this wild ass fucking nigga animal that's disturbing what's going on. No, everybody should have pride in who they are. Everybody should have love for who they are. And consequently, because we have love and respect for ourselves, we should be able to galvanize and come together and mobilize and do shit to help protect our communities and fix a lot of this shit or some of this shit. But niggas don't know any better because they've been following ignorant, dumb motherfuckers for so long. And now that we got the internet,
we got
uh
more access to ignorant, dumb
yeah,
motherfuckers.
we got more access to ignorant, dumb motherfuckers telling us the wrong shit. So it's wild out here, man. It's wild. Six,
Yep.
that's why I just be quiet now. I don't even say shit. I just be looking at it like, oh, you believe that? Okay, cool. Okay,
I
cool.
told
Like,
him
I attract too much, I attract attention. And now that I'm shutting up, I realize, like, I don't even have to say nothing no more, man. People gonna say this shit for me.
I had this conversation a few months back. It was an interesting conversation because we were having this conversation, this talk about the UAP sightings, the UFOs and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they was like, they think we stupid. Why would aliens come see us? Blah blah blah. Why would there be aliens? Do you believe in aliens? I looked around. I said, y'all use the word alien about everybody who ain't American every day, but now you don't believe in aliens.
Right.
I said, I said, if there's another species, I said I think there's another species somewhere out there because otherwise we hit the lottery and we made a hellscape of our lottery. And I said, now what they telling us they see out there, I don't know what the fuck that is. That
I
could
don't
be
either.
some government. I said that could be a whole bunch of new weaponry they testing out, and they just don't want the general public to understand what it is they doing yet. I said, but could there be aliens? I said, yeah. I said you could have a microbe on another planet. That's an alien.
That's an alien.
You know what I'm saying?
If you
You
bring
can
them
have a
back,
fucking
if you find them and you bring them back here and you put them in a jar, that's an alien.
yeah. That's an alien. He's only an alien when he gets here. You see what I'm saying? I said, but y'all tripping. I said, y'all talking about y'all don't believe in aliens, but all I hear from y'all is illegal aliens. It's illegal aliens that. Like, come on, man. You either believe in it or you don't. I said, there's a possibility that there's some might be out there, but what they talking about on the news, I don't believe that's aliens. I said, shit, they just fucking been experimenting with new technology.
And they're trying
They
to see
cracked the
what
code
they're
on some
trying.
shit.
Yeah, and they're trying to see how you respond to it when they give you the information, when they bring
Yeah.
it to you, you know?
So when they actually roll that shit out,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They going
To anybody that's listening, man, that's what they do. When they talk about bombing people, they use their bombs over in the ocean or in the desert. And then next thing you know, they
yeah,
go bomb countries. They do that to make y'all comfortable with what they're doing. So like right now,
yeah.
if y'all hear about aliens visiting the planet and everything, they're getting y'all ready for what's about to happen. The motherfuckers probably been here for 100 years or more. And they getting ready
Right.
to drop this shit on y'all. I'm like, yo, here it is.
Like,
These mother-
ta-da!
right, like how they go. Like we've been under their control the whole time. We've been
For
feeding
real.
y'all to them. You know what I'm saying? That's why we've been
Like, and
fucking up y'all diet.
we appreciate y'all giving up all y'all rights and shit.
Right. We've been fucking y'all over with the laws and everything. We've been fucking y'all diet up because they need y'all to
For real.
taste a certain way, because they can't get back to they can't get back to their planet. So because of that, look, this is what the plan is right here. And we
Yeah,
sorry,
man.
but we can't fight these motherfuckers off. We've been lying to y'all this entire time.
And I think the biggest problem for all of for people in that realm is like black people, for the most part, have always kind of like found a way to survive some shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we're a resilient people. Uh, and I'm only speaking from the perspective of what I know of our history. I wasn't there for none of it. You see what I'm saying? But I would imagine that shit was uh millions of times harder than what we complain about every day now as black people. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, there's a lot of people out here like suffering the grief of the loss of a loved one for you know what I'm saying, being caught out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But death is already promised. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like we gonna grieve anyway. So how we go like why we're grieving is an individual thing. We kind of got to like sort that out. But you can't not give somebody grace because they grieve different than you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't not give somebody grace because their loss isn't your loss.
You know what I realized though, amongst us, and I ain't talking about nobody, I'm talking about black people right now. One of the main things that I'm coming to understand is that no matter what we think about each other, you're talking about a group of people who come from different tribes, right?
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
you want to call them Choctaw or whether you want to call them Senegalese or from Benin or from Ghana or the Ivory Coast or
Many
uh
of them spoke different tongues.
yes, a lot of us that are here came from different areas. So you're talking about trying to galvanize a lot of different people from a lot of different places and a lot of different tribes. And you're trying to get them all to come together and exist, coexist, and get on the same page and do something that's so significant. And that's
Because
not to
we
make
because we
that's not to make
we
an
share the same
excuse. Say it again.
because we share something in common on a physical level.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? So
Correct.
the people that want to galvanize us aren't really tapping into the other things that make us who we are. It's almost like that's why we always talk about stay on code, that black code shit. Like we
There
keep
was
on
never no
identifying
code.
ourselves. we identifying ourselves from the external and not really looking at culture. Like
Hmm.
our one culture, we kind of like allowed that to get wiped away. I mean, like in terms of like, because we have a very creative culture, and then they exploit the shit out of us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
And
that thing we can't stand in. We can't say that this is us. This is what we coming together based on our ability, our value that we bring to the world.
yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
what I'm saying is that's the thing that's really keeping us separated is the fact that all of us come from different tribes and we come from different clans and cultures, and we're trying to fit all these people into one big, not to be disrespectful, but we're trying to fit them into one diatribe or one farm and get everybody to go, hey, this is what we should be doing. This is how we
Right.
should move, right? And it's very hard to do that because there are so many other people within the culture and within the farm that are going, well, I don't want to do that, or that'll take too long, or well, why we got to
That's
do it
why.
that way? And
This is
that's the
why.
reason
That's
why
why
we have so many
prisons don't
fucking
work.
struggles.
That's why prisons don't work. There's no. You'll never get prison reform. A person has to want it, and that would have to be an individual thing. You'll never get. You know what I'm saying? Prisons are the perfect example of what you're describing. You see what I'm saying? It's like you put all of these people under this exact same condition in the same, you know what I'm saying, area because you don't want them to spill over into your good shit.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how they treat niggas. That's why niggas' lives are the way we are, man. They don't want us to spill over into their good shit. They good shit
But
is
and it's
exploiting
not
us.
six, but it's not that it can't happen. It's just that we choose to allow the bullshit to affect us more than the goal,
I
the
don't think it's
objective.
not. I don't think it's enough of. I think it's more of us that aren't aware than there are aware, and
True,
that's the
true,
problem.
true. I think there's five to
That's the
ten
gap.
percent. I think there's 5 to 10% of us who are aware that there is a change that needs to happen in order for us to get anywhere. But the other percentage of us who don't give a fuck or don't want to make the effort they're holding everybody back. And
They're the ones that they love. They on the internet popping pussy and showing guns and money phones and shit.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah. And someone told me recently, they said that's how you confuse the other percentage of us that don't know any better, right? You put guns and dope and money in front of them and you say, hey, this is the thing that y'all need right here. But the real goal is financial freedom and freedom from the bondage that they currently have us in. And when people don't understand that, they'll take popping pussy, they'll take drugs, they'll take this little bit of money for right now to please themselves instead of looking at a long-term goal that will help not just them, but it help their kids, their kids, kids, and their kids, kids, kids. And we're talking about a situation that would be generational wealth. It'll help further down the line than it would right now if someone gave you $5,000 or $10,000 just to be cool with your situation right now. And
Yep.
that's one of the things that we're ignoring. It's the structure of doing something better than where we are right now instead of settling for this little piece of shit that they given to us. It's something that goes further, that reaches further down the line where your kids can have trust funds, college funds, and we can do more for our community in Chicago and all over and abroad and be stable instead of worrying about what we're getting right now, the little 2,500, the 5,000, or the $10,000 for right now, because that money ain't gonna be shit in a week or 2 weeks or a month, but something
That's
bigger
why
and
people
better
went
that will
crazy.
sustain us.
That's why people was losing their mind for the stimulus checks and the PPP loans and shit like that. They saw people saw that as a reprieve, an opportunity to feel a little relief. You see what I'm saying? When you when you when you live your life the way you know what I'm saying in the way that you describe, any little bit of any little bit of crumb you get tossed your way tastes delicious as shit. But
Mm-hmm.
when you focus on what the mission is, you actually have a mission. A lot of people don't even have a mission, bro.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? They going from day to day, check to check, week to week. They don't they life would be upside down. They'd be homeless if they didn't even have the little reprieve that they get. That's most people. Like most people paycheck is their reprieve. All I gotta do is put these fucking 40 hours in, and I'll be good
Yeah,
for a minute.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's a carrot at the end of the stick.
yeah. And for most people who don't know, like that carrot at the end of the stick, man, they've been doing that to us since they let us get off of these plantations, since they gave us the so-called freedom. But they never
Yeah.
taught us about financial freedom. They never taught us about how banks really work. They never taught us about how stocks really work. They never taught us about how barrel bonds really work. They never taught us about owning land properly, right? They snatched all that stuff from us. Well, they didn't snatch it from us. They kept it from us and gave us bullshit education. And they gave us government cheese and shit like that. And we were so happy to receive it that we didn't really look at what was going on behind the scenes.
I think that it wasn't nothing they could do out because they for one they couldn't fulfill the promise. You know what I'm saying? 40 acres and a mule sound good on paper. But there was no physical way they were gonna be able to do that and live with themselves. You see what I'm saying? There is no putting us back on no ship and sending us back over to Africa because all of us ain't come from there. Now the jig is up. You see what I'm saying? The lies that was told, oh fuck, now we gotta fucking actually prove it. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather go to war over that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like now you got a bunch of us here. Like I even believe that 13% bullshit they be talking about. We only make up 13% of the US population. I think that's a number to create discouragement, bro. There's no fucking way. Cause black people, if we don't do nothing, we're gonna create families.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? A lot of black people don't do the census.
true. A lot of us do not do the census. That's a fucking fact. So when they say that
You
we're
see what I'm saying?
13, 14% of the population, I just go by the number that they're giving us, bro. Like I always say, I don't believe that's the totality of how many of us are actually here because I
Right.
don't do the census. I don't know if you do it. I don't know a bunch of people who don't really do it. Um, but it is what it is.
Because all it is, the census is basically, you know, how you have your annual inventory at work.
Yeah. This is how you
That's
allocate the money that needs to go out
to each
uh
state, you know what I'm saying?
each
They could
state,
divide the
to
money.
schools, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I believe that's
If you
some
don't do,
bullshit too.
yeah, it's like we about to allocate these funds. We're not gonna, it's like it's a federal grant. We're not gonna tell you where it came from.
Yeah,
We just
I
print
think that's
money.
bullshit. Yeah. And we know, to me, just hearing about it, you know, some of it is just ridiculous to hear when 60 to 70% of the budget for the US government is allocated toward war, right? War chests
Right.
and war funds and missiles and everything like that, guns, ammunition, and everything like
Yeah,
that, planes and all that stuff.
defense fund. Yeah.
Yeah. Like why so much money is allocated towards that, but not infrastructure to these neighborhoods and to then the way that public transportation works and to the way the public school system is and everything like that. So um
Because we just this one big ass fucking farm.
it is. It
And we're the
is.
fucking like we're literally the product. We're the product of the farm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we literally and our you know what our we're not even a product. We're the parts of the machine. We're the spark plugs and shit. And you know what our product is? Entertainment. We entertain the world. That's our biggest export. You know what I'm saying?
That's our what you call that, national gross product.
Yeah. Like we entertain the fucking world. Motherfuckers know more about our entertainers than anything else in the world.
Mhm.
You ask them about that and fucking fast food. You go overseas and ask motherfuckers what they know about America, they name off Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson,
Jay-Z.
Whitney. You see what I'm saying? Miley Cyrus, all these, you know what I'm saying? They'll name a bunch of celebrity names, but but we know more about British history. You know what I'm saying? Or at least what they want us to know about British history. But ain't nobody outside the United States learning United States history like that.
Mm.
All
Nope.
they get is our product. That's
Yep.
why hip hop was our biggest fucking product for how many years? Almost less than it had to be
20
less
or
than
30
50 years.
years.
Yeah, about 30 years.
Yep.
That was our again, that's entertainment.
Hmm.
That was the flavor of the last 30 years. So now they're looking for a new flavor to sell the world.
Like I said,
That's why hip hop is
this would
getting
be the
washed away.
perfect, yeah, this is the perfect time for us to sit and come up with a better way for us to represent ourselves. This is the perfect time
Yeah.
for it. This is the
It's a perfect time for a
perfect
rebrand.
time. Yep.
Yeah, let's
Yep.
define ourselves.
Yep. And when we say rebrand and refurbish, we're not talking about nothing in entertainment. We're talking about something that's specifically to us
Yeah,
that they can't see coming until people wake up and they realize, yo, what the fuck did they end up doing? How did they have that? Why do they have that? You know what I mean? And
and
you
I
look,
can see it happening
I can
because
too,
we
but I don't want to do it.
no, because the selfishness is pre-installed, bro.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck. We don't give a. We don't care that much about each other to support on
We
a
don't
high
look
level
at
like
each
that.
other as worth it. We don't look at
Mm-hmm.
each other. Yeah, we don't view each other as worth it. But
Mm-hmm.
see, that's by design, though. You know,
But
that's by design.
that goes back to that hate, right? When you get
Yep,
away from righteousness and respect, love,
yep.
integrity, and
You start looking
loyalty,
down on.
yeah, when you start looking at each other like I don't want him to succeed, I don't want her
Yeah,
to succeed, then you start finding out
step
who the
on this
people around
motherfucker
you.
right here.
Yeah, yeah. Let me stomp that fire out. I don't want them to get nowhere near with the level I am. I don't want to be around a bunch of niggas that ain't come from
You
nothing.
might
Blah
fuck
blah
it
blah
up for
blah.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But the crazy part is the more of us that got a bag, the better it is for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? If me,
facts.
you, and Agent Smith got a bag, that means that everybody that you connected to in your network can get one. Everybody in my
Yeah,
network can get one. Everybody in Agent Smith network can get one. And we just spread it out. And then once we do that, we say, hey, now y'all take it and y'all go spread it out to the next group of people that's in y'all network. Right?
facts.
That's the way it's supposed to work. But I don't know, man. It's getting tough out here to listen to people, talk about they want to do something different, but nobody really wants to do it.
I think also it's the lack of because a lot of people lack uh the type of role model that'll kind of help motivate and drive that. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of role models, a lot of mentors and stuff like that, they really just base their methods on either their understanding of psychology and psychopathy, you know what I'm saying, psychopathy, or or they lack just the basic knowledge of like how to deal with people and their traumas and their problems, how to talk to people, how to communicate with people. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people just be there. They just there as a presence to drop some game, to give some information. But in terms of like really like locking in and getting to the root cause of how of what it takes to get this person where they want to be, some people just don't have that skill set. I know I don't have it because I find myself getting annoyed with some bullshit. You see what I'm saying? I just stop asking questions, especially if a person's like just hell bent on being disagreeable or some shit like that, which a lot of people are now. A lot of people are highly disagreeable. You know what I'm saying? They rather debate some shit just to make themselves feel better than to actually just take on some advice and some not even necessarily advice, just have a conversation
Mm.
and get a new perspective.
Yeah. I try. Well, I can't say I try. When I know I have some game, or when I'm around different guys, whether I'm at work or I'm on a bus, or anything that I know that can help another brother out or another young sister out, that can uh, put more appreciation on their life and elevate them, I just give it to them, bro. I just give it to
Right,
them because I'd rather them take a chance on doing something better that can enrich their life than
right,
withhold the information from them, knowing that, you know, it's a chance that, hey, this may be that one person that sparks the seed, that waters a plant that grows and grows and grows and grows. But I'd rather just give them the information. It's free game coming from me always. But
right.
it's too many of us out here, man, that are trying to hurt the rest. It's too many hurt people out here who are telling people, yo, you can't do it. No, we can't do that. And they're making up excuses to do it. Like, why is everybody
Yeah,
making up
like
excuses for
they
us to
shoot
not
down
succeed?
yeah, they call them stupid.
Yeah,
Uh, they talk trash about their gifts. You know what I'm saying? Tell them shit like ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
A lot of some of the most successful people in my life that I know musically was always pretty much on the butt end of that kind of shit. Motherfuckers like like we like to believe that motherfuckers just had a whole team of supporters. Everybody supported them and he just surrounded himself
Mm-mm,
with support and love. But
never.
most of the motherfuckers who went the hardest was told, nah, nigga, you trash.
Yep. Martin Luther
You know what I'm
King did
saying?
not have the support that that people think that they had. It was a small group of people that supported Martin Luther King. The small
Yep.
group of people that supported Malcolm X. The small group of people that supported Marcus Garvey and all these different guys. There were not big crowds of people that supported them because the motherfuckers didn't want to get noticed. They were also scared and they did not want to have to explain themselves, or they did not want to be part of a movement that represented black people in totality. It's a lot of people out there. Even now, there's people out there who exist who are directly trying their best to keep others from succeeding. Yo, you can't listen to him. You can't listen to that person. Don't follow that shit, man. That shit ain't gonna work. That shit ain't gonna do this. That shit ain't gonna do that. They did the same thing that our greatest leaders. And I think now that we're looking at it, that's why you don't see more young black men or young black women rising up to do anything because they're like, yo, I can't take that. Like, I don't want to deal with that, man. You mean to tell me it's gonna be a small group of people that'll jump behind me and help create some stability and help push us forward against this fucking machine?
Or the ones that actually are speaking out, they start getting called scam artists and shit like that because
Mm-hmm.
again, like I'll use Dr. Umar as an example. Like he's far from a dummy.
He ain't dumb at
But
all. But
but
we
his
but what we haven't seen is we haven't seen that school.
that's what I'm about to say. His he sound like a guy who just speaks the rhetoric. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He sounds like a guy who just speaks the rhetoric, but he one of them. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of that. It's a bunch of them out here, bro. It's like it's a bunch of
Man,
people who
listen,
just
we talked
they
about this
they just
before, bro. Our greatest leaders all come from fucked up conditions. Malcolm
yeah.
X wasn't the best person in the world, bro.
But again, that go back to the leadership component I was talking about, man. You
We
see what I'm
all got
saying? Like
you all we all got to
real,
have that in us.
you gotta have it.
We got to have it
You
in.
don't become a Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X or Huey P. Newton. You see what I'm saying?
Huey P.
Without
Newton,
that, you know what I'm saying?
Stokely Carmichael. You understand?
Without that component, like yeah, motherfucker could talk that shit, but you gotta have that. You gotta have that fearlessness. You gotta, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? You gotta be like, man, look, dude, this is how you do it. You gotta be like, even though you might feel a little nervous about the outcome, you ain't gotta show it. You just go out there and do the job.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? There ain't too many people like that, bro.
Uh,
The shit is built, it's installed, it's built in that way. That's how they break your spirit. They
yeah.
don't even they
And
don't
here's
want
the
us
other
to be
part.
on that.
The same people telling us that we can't do it. They're the motherfuckers with the biggest fear in their heart.
Because they
They
know
got
what could happen.
yeah,
They know
yeah.
what could happen.
They're the ones with the
They
biggest fear in
already
their
know.
heart. No, we
They
can't do that.
because
Don't trust that
they
nigga,
seen it
man.
happen because they seen it happen before. You see
Don't
what I'm
trust that
saying?
nigga, man. That nigga don't know what he talking about. Yeah, he do. He know what he talking about. That nigga trying to help y'all get out the situation y'all in. He just scared because he know he gonna have eyes on him and people gonna look at him and go, "Yo, are you with that? Because if you with that, we don't want to deal with you no more."
Nigga, California changed its open carry laws because the Black Panther Party was
Facts,
policing its own neighborhood. You
facts,
dig what I'm saying?
facts.
That's impact and change, right? And that's because motherfuckers fearless. Motherfuckers was standing on business. They don't want that to happen no more.
Mm-hmm.
Any way they can keep us under pressure, it's gonna be hard to find somebody who's gonna step into them shoes again.
Yeah. And the other part
Not
about
every,
it is,
not
go
everybody
ahead,
who
say it again.
does it.
Say it again.
I said, and not everybody who does it in the modern era is even cut out for the job anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have the skill set. They diminish the skill set for us to have that. I think most of our real thought leaders and freedom fighters are fucking rappers, dog.
And
And
that's not what we
they
want.
get man, they get to speak the truth. You know what I'm saying? And touch the people. But they got to get the support. It just so happened though also that people don't really respect the culture, the music like that no more. They put a lot of effort into destroying the image of our culture, bro.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Because you destroy the image of the culture, then now the message is diminished. To make you believe that
Hmm.
motherfuckers ain't even on that no more.
Yeah.
Because they inundate the whole game with all of the sex and drugs and partying and debauchery.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The message has always been there, but it's drowned out. Like nigga, what you need to free yourself for? Look at that ass over there clapping.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck you need a
What
leader for? What the fuck you care about your financial freedom for? When we got these bitches over here in the club shaking their ass, right? Why you care about that? Come over here. You don't need to
hey
be
girl,
focusing on financial freedom.
hey girl, you don't need to, you know what I'm saying, go to school and become nothing great. You go get your OnlyFans. OnlyFans pay so much motherfucking money. You make more money than the fucking CEO.
Yeah. Do that. Make $250,000 a year on OnlyFans. Do that. Do
Fuck
that
you don't go to
instead.
school.
Why would you want to do something with self-respect when you can make this fast money right here?
Don't let nobody tell you it's disrespectful to do that. Get your money, girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, fuck them talking about that's the easy route, you know? Ain't that what they say? Get it out the mud. You getting
If
out the
it was
mud,
so easy,
posting your body.
why they still broke?
Right. You getting it out the mud, posting your body all over Instagram, all over OnlyFans. You getting your money, you getting your paper. And to the women that do it, I ain't knocking you for doing it. Like you getting your money, you making your money. But always have a realization that those images on the internet will never go away. Your kids will end up seeing your parents, your family, and at some point you may be comfortable with telling them what you did to get you to the point to where you are, but is that what you want your kids to see when they go to school? Your mother's a whore. Your mother's this or your mother's that. Well, I got pictures of your mother on my wall and stuff like that. But that's just one of those things, man. Like we're in a fucked up situation, and man, they slowly closing the doors on us, bro. And there's
Yep.
ways to fight this shit back. There's ways to fight it back. But motherfuckers don't. It's fucked up out here, bro. It's fucked
They,
up.
yeah, I mean it is. And I hate to talk about it like the mysterious them, they, you know what I'm saying, entity, that this mysterious entity, you know what I'm saying? Because it's really like the elite group of people that influence all of that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said somebody said homelessness exists because we need to give people motivation.
Nah,
Like if
and
because if you know that homelessness is where you don't want to be and you see it everywhere you go, that'll keep your ass going to work. That'll keep you showing up, punching the clock.
that's bullshit.
And all the celebrity shit that they show us, they inundate us with is to just motivate us to spend money. It's all commercialization. So you got commercialization and motivation. It's like, yeah, you could solve, but if you solve for homelessness, are you really solving the problem? That's the way they look at it.
If we put people to work, you can kind of figure that shit out.
But they don't, but then you don't have the motivator. You know what I'm saying? The reason why people like that homelessness is a multifaceted issue in any society. It's
It
like it could be
is
very why people are homeless.
because
You know what I'm saying?
people could be mentally warped, and that's why they end up being homeless.
Some people just gave up. They were like, man, fuck this shit,
Yeah,
man. I'm
some
getting
people
out the
just
game.
gave up. Yeah, some people just say I'd rather be off the reservation.
Some
I don't want
people,
people to know
and then
where
you
I
got
am.
some people who really literally just don't have the skill set to maintain a life, and is where they landed. Or some people lost everything. They bet it all on one thing, and now they out there. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It's a myriad of reasons why people can be homeless, but to say that, you know what I'm saying, that we can't solve for it is the biggest myth. Is they don't want to.
Yeah, a lot of the shit.
You
Well,
know
I
what
ain't
I'm
gonna say
saying?
a lot of it, but some of the shit, six, especially within our own culture, we can remedy some of this shit very fast. Well, not fast, but we can get past a lot of this shit, man. If people would just stick together and learn
Yeah.
how to communicate. not just do it, but communicate amongst each other properly, right? Look, this is what we doing, and shut the fuck up. Don't nobody say nothing else about what the fuck we got going on over here. We gonna shut the fuck up. All that music and shit that's being passed around, let that shit happen. But in the background, we gonna work and we gonna clean this motherfucker up and we gonna get this shit done silently while all that's happening. And when they look
I
up,
rem
it's gonna be totally different in a few years.
I remember distinctly the days when and you didn't have to be in church. You ain't had to be at like no type of gathering or nothing like that. But one of the OGs would hit the block and come talk to somebody or come talk to the group of us, and everything will stop and everybody come listen to him
Mm-hmm.
talk.
Mm-hmm.
Those
I
days
remember
do
days
not
like that.
those
I
days
remember
do not
days like
exist.
that. Yep. I
Yeah,
remember I remember being outside in the summertime on in the neighborhood and one of the niggas that called it, one of the brothers that called it for the neighborhood could come down there and say, "Hey, it's too much trash out here in these streets, man. Can y'all clean this up? Everybody get a
man.
trash bag and y'all clean this up. Or y'all three get a trash bag. Huh? Y'all three go get that end of the block and y'all other three get the other end of the block and y'all meet in the middle and make sure all this trash is cleaned up. We don't have that no
Yep.
more.
No, the motherfuckers like who motherfuckers got the "who are you to talk to me" type mentality.
Yep.
It's all individualized. You know, there's no sense of community. We had this is part of the conversation 100,000 times, but you know,
Mm-hmm. We have.
like the community component, the culture component, the one thing that's what I'm saying. We don't have that one thing we could I really identify with. We so divided. We don't have that one thing that really makes us us
Yep. Yep.
outside of black.
Yep. We
You know what
so
I'm saying?
divided,
Because
man, that
like
and here's the thing that I
white
could
people are
see.
united. White people are united on something more than just being white. They're united on the idea that they the apex predator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They don't want to give up that privilege.
Yeah. They're
That's
united
enough
on
to
the
unite
fact
them.
that if 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 we don't keep the chokehold on these niggas, this could go bad for us. Like they know that. And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about
And
every
they
I'm
would
not talking about
burn.
all of them. I'm talking about the hierarchy of them that have this whole
Yeah,
chokehold.
that's what I'm about to say. That's why the motherfuckers burn the lower white people.
Mm-hmm.
They the one they fucking mobilize the lower white people. They'll burn them and blame us. And now they hate us.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? They see
Yep.
us as a problem for the shit that the motherfuckers who calling all the shots is doing to them.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know? And we
And
walk into it.
yep, we walk
Yeah.
into it. We so distracted that the hate that we spew towards each other just eats us up from the inside out, and we don't recognize the sign of the times. And we've talked about we had these conversations before, and if y'all listening, man, y'all don't like it, y'all can turn this shit off. You know, go to the next episode or go to a previous episode. But there's so much shit going on in our neighborhoods that we can remedy if we would just get together and do the shit the correct way. There ain't nothing wrong with
Right.
us. Well, it is something wrong with us. Like we hate each other too much to figure this shit out and do what's actually in our best benefit. But yeah, I know when y'all neighborhoods are getting changed. Yeah, I see these Starbucks popping up. Yeah, I see these Marianos popping up. Yeah, I see these different changes happening. Motherfuckers jogging through y'all fucking neighborhood, and you ain't never seen
See,
them before. Yeah, I know what's happening in y'all neighborhood.
that's the part of what I was saying about the love, loyalty, righteousness, and respect. They don't have the righteousness and respect. They got that love and that loyalty. They loyal to what they're doing. They're loyal to their set. They loyal to their people. You know what I'm saying? And that love that they feel from that they think they feel, that love that they think they give is all that they hold on to. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's why we toxic to each other. Because you ain't in my bubble of love. You ain't in my bubble of loyalty. You know what I'm saying? You all you hear niggas talk about is motherfuckers being loyal to them. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers like loyalty shouldn't even be spoken.
Loyalty don't mean shit if you don't have no respect for the person that you loyal to.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they go
And that's
hand in
what
hand. All of that shit go hand in hand.
all of it go hand in hand.
All of it go
And
hand in
because
hand.
if you
And to the young men who are being told that, you know, you got to be loyal to your guys and everything, let me tell you something about that. If you got a woman that's been supporting you and been down for you longer than these niggas have, or she's done it in a short amount of time and she's looked out for you and she's taking care of you, that woman is usually more loyalty to the loyal to you than the guys that you are around. She usually is, but we neglect that because she ain't one of the guys. And we need to pay more attention to that, man, because these women can show you a different way and help you out as well. And they ain't to be
Yeah,
on some
balance it
punk
out.
shit. They ain't to be on no soft shit. But when these women are down and these women are loyal, let me say this: you will never ever in life find too many of them like that again. You may get one, two, or three more chances at that, but there ain't too many women that'll ever be loyal to you like that again. But outside of your mother, outside of your moms,
Yeah.
you'll never see that again. So be careful
What's
when y'all
crazy
out
about
here
it, though is
fucking
like
around with
it's
these
gonna be even
chicks.
harder. It's gonna be even harder now though, because in this era, this generation, we talking again the social media era, dating apps, access to information. Women are really like not fucking with niggas like that no more
Mhm.
in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like a nigga really got it. That's why you hear a lot of these motherfuckers talking about splitting bills and all this old shit. Motherfuckers really like a lot of these niggas have like lowered the property value on having a man. You see what I'm saying? Because niggas love niggas. Everybody at their base level, everybody just want to fuck now. And those who and then like that one chick who does want a good dude, she gotta either have somebody in a network that she in that knows her like that to date, or
Or
she's
she
going
gotta date 100 niggas to find out who's actually
to
what she, yeah. She gotta
potentially
date a
run her
hundred
body.
niggas. Yeah. It's wild out here, man.
And the work and the other side of that is like these niggas out here really don't have much to work for because they could get pussy anytime they want it. And the ones who don't get no pussy ain't gonna get no pussy. That's what and that's and but neither side of that they actually land in a relationship that's worth it.
It's
It's
wild
like
out
we
here, bro.
that's the component about our culture, our family structure, man.
And we don't have it. We don't have a lot of family structure. And you just see it deteriorate more and more and more and more, just because of everything that's going on. So many single women out here having kids, so many men out here fucking these women and leaving them, abandoning them just so they can go fuck another bitch and get her pregnant too. And they revel in the fact that they're getting women pregnant. These young boys, they revel in the fact that they're getting these chicks pregnant. It's a sad situation, man, but you know, we need more men to step up and speak to these young brothers and let them know,
Yeah,
that,
be
that
the LG.
yeah, what you're doing is wrong, my guy. Cut it out. We've
I
been
think
talking for
also
a little bit.
a lot of these motherfuckers be intimidated by the idea of addressing a young dude who might potentially, you know what I'm saying, have more money than him, or you know what I'm saying, might flex on him, might fucking be more stronger than him. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these young dudes out here just like they move a certain way based on how they wherever they lacking, they got to strengthen another area. So a nigga who got low self esteem probably got a gun on him.
Hmm.
He can't take no criticism. He weak, you know what I'm saying, to criticism. You know what I'm saying? A nigga out here who probably got 15 chicks or whatever, and he weak to criticism, he probably ain't sticking around to be in a relationship with no chick anyway. You know what I'm saying? He don't have the leadership skills to be the man of the relationship, but he had enough game to just get some pussy. And he probably wasn't even requiring no game to get that.
Hmm. That too.
You see what I'm
That
saying?
part. That part.
It's all upside down, bro.
It is. It's a lot to it's a lot to overcome, but I think it can be done. We just need the right people in the right places. You know, that's all. And
Yeah.
I'm saying that because you know me, I have optimism and I'm big on that. But the reality of it is bigger than what I'm saying, and it'll take a lot of work. But it can be done. It can be done. It just take a lot of work, and motherfuckers would
Yeah.
have to really want to do this shit, you know, in order for it to succeed. But
Yeah.
I don't know if we care enough about that. Most of us care about just earning our bag of money, and getting out the fucking way. So,
I think that also though, it's like because that state of survival mode that's in a lot of people, they make it impossible for them to even like consider somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to being in a leadership role, you're gonna get a lot of motherfuckers who fake it just because they stay in survival mode themselves. They
Yeah,
acting like they leader, again, manipulators.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They kind of like they kind of use their influence to to get what they want, and then they move on. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that. And that's how you get all these fucking CEOs and shit like that. That's how you get these motherfuckers who kind of galvanize groups of people to get their product off the ground or to push an agenda. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? They can sell you anything.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
But they don't have the self-respect or the respect for others to kind of galvanize and move them in a direction that isn't a selfish direction. Like why would I fuck why what do I give a fuck about all of us winning when all I really want is just for me to win? Because if
Yeah,
I'm winning, then I ain't got to worry about nobody else.
yeah.
That's the
Shit,
mentality.
shit. If you was listening, if you was watching me, if you was listening, you should been able to follow my plan and hear what I was saying and do the same thing. Well, why the fuck would you
Exactly.
follow me? Why would you follow me anyway if you knew I was up to some bullshit? That's on you. That's on me. You gave up that money. That's on you.
Yep.
Excuse me. We've
And
been
them the
chopping it
same
up for a
ones,
little bit
like
though.
them the same ones, they be like call themselves helping out these girls with their career and then take advantage of them. And then
Hmm.
when she filed charges on his ass, and he be like, you should have known. What you expect?
Yeah, you
You
already knew
can't
what you
get
was
something
dealing
for
with.
nothing.
You knew what you was
Right. You
dealing
can't
with.
get something for nothing.
You knew what you was dealing with. Your stupid ass.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Anything else you wanna throw out there on the table?
Nah, man. Nah.
I gotta get Dr. Gamble back on the podcast, man. He a busy dude though. That's a
Yeah.
busy dude. Ever since we did that episode with him,
Uh-huh.
he been running and gunning, bro. Hard. He been running and gunning. He got a lot going on. Um, I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, it's dope, man.
Hell yeah. He been a busy dude.
How was that DJ Pocket joint?
That was good. I gotta send it to you in the chat so you can hear it. That was a good
Uh-huh.
podcast, man. Just me and him. We talked for about an hour, hour and a half. That was a good
Right.
one. We talked about the album that he put out, Toxic Masculinity.
Toxic Masculinity. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you listened to the project?
I listened about half of it.
Okay, I liked it, man. I liked it,
Yeah,
especially when you get
hard.
to I'm a man, huh?
That shit hard.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. Some of those songs resonate a lot harder than the rest of them do, but that's what I expected. But it's a really good project. I appreciate it.
That album, I consider that album if I would put it in a category of uh mature dad rap, blue
Hmm.
collar dad. Like he got the bars, he got the skills, but he talking about shit that's relatable to people in a certain age demographic.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a
You
good
know what
it's
I'm
a
saying?
good project. I appreciate it. Listening to it. Him and Eddie
Shit hard.
Meeks. Yeah,
Shit hard.
yeah.
I think that's why I still fuck with this shit so heavy, man, because like it's so much to fucking just tap into. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of instead of people like harping on that fucking battle from months ago, there's so much dope music to still kind of go out there and listen to.
There's just a lot of music out there. It's a lot of music
Yeah,
out
man.
there. And I told him when I told him I was like, yo, I want you to get back on the podcast and chop it up with me. And he was like, hell yeah, 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 hell yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And he was like, I got a project out, and I want you to check it out and everything. And we were just chopping it up. And while I was listening to it,
Hmm.
that was in the back of my mind. Like, there's so much music out here for people to check out that you could never say that there isn't any good music out here. Like just by proxy or just by scanning, searching through the internet, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, and all these, and iTunes, and all these other Spotify, all these other channels of information. There's so much music that you could come across.
That's
To
why I hate the commercialization of music, but I love the way the internet makes that shit so easily attainable. Like you really, all you got to do is just ask somebody, do they put you on to something that you know that you might not have ever heard before. Like my girl, she good at that, man. She be putting me on I used to hear little Jelly Roll songs here and there, but I never really listened to him.
Yeah.
And she like got this whole little playlist and shit. And she had me listen to some of his shit, and I was like, I see what the appeal is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's dope shit. It's like, is it something that I would normally just find myself riding to? Probably not, but I wouldn't be opposed to listening to it. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? And there's so much music out here like that. Like it's like you be so hardwired to a certain vibe. I guess that's why like the East Coast got its bias, but the South sound was so strong that it permeated everything. That trap sound kind of permeated everything, and it's the exact same thing. Like people get so acclimated to what they like in mass that you start getting. You don't learn how to just step outside of that and find something new. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
step outside of that and find something new.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
love discovering new music, bro.
Absolutely. 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 It's always refreshing to hear something dope, something new. That kind of changes, that kind of refreshes your palate. I ain't gonna say changes, but it just refreshes your palate. And that project was one of those things that, yo, I needed that.
Right.
That was refreshing to me to hear music like that.
And Pocket, listen to how he put beats together and structure songs. So he actually put work into the production of it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's real.
it was good to talk to him, chop it up with him, and listen to what he had to say about the project and other music that he's gonna work on going forward. I definitely will put
Right.
that in the chat so you can check. Or I just send it to you separately and let you check it out.
For sure.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah, man.
I think we done went on here pretty good run for an hour and some change.
All right, it's all good. That was a good conversation.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Full Profits Podcast. This is the link up where we sync up and think up. My co-host, as always, 606. Peace, brother. I
What's
appreciate
up?
you jumping on here. Love you for it.
It's all good, my brother. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You know how we do.
Yep. And with that said, remember the mission statement when you're striving for greatness. God never puts you in the driver's seat if it's taken. We are done here.